Do you wish that your nails looked like they were done at a salon by a professional? Also that they would last 3 to 4 weeks without having to bother going to the salon, and of course without paying the salon prices. In this video, and I'm telling you, I feel like I just discovered electricity or something because I've been wearing my nails like this for over a decade. I am going to tell you all about soft gel nail cover tips. I'm going to explain it. I'm so excited. These soft gel full cover nail tips combine the best of both worlds. The convenience of press-on nails with the durability and salon looking quality, professional looking results into one. There is an initial learning curve and also an initial investment in tools and materials, but it's so worth it. Now let's get into it. So what is the difference between press-on nails and the soft gel full cover tips, such as these right here? They really look the same, except that the press-ons, these are painted, they have nail polish already on, whereas these are clear. Now, one of the big advantages that tips such as these claim is that they have a really thin cuticle end right here. So if you were to compare the thickness of the free edge of the nail, I mean, this one's really big on me, but for the purposes of this demonstration here, this side is going to be thicker than the cuticle area. Now, one of the main differences between these press-ons and these tips is basically the application. The press-ons come with glue or with sticky tabs, but these methods of application really, they don't last long. They last probably a week, maybe maximum 2, depending on how often you expose your nails to water. When I first started the channel, I wanted my nails to look really nice, and so I got some press-ons, and I kid you not, I had them on for like a week, and when I took them off, I had green fungus growing on my nail because water had gotten underneath the nail, and so the fungi and bacteria start growing on the nail bed. So after that, I was like, no, enough of this, and I went back to wearing my nails short and painting them every like 3 days because they chipped so often, which is really what led me to look for a different solution and how I came across these tips. Okay, so going back to application, it's different with the nail tips because instead of using regular glue or stickies, you actually use a gel that has to be cured with a curing lamp. So that's one main difference, the application. Now the next one is durability. The press-ons will last you 1 to 2 weeks, and these guys cured with UV gel will last you 3 to 4 weeks. Now let's talk about appearance. Do they both look the same? Press-ons and the nail tips. I tried press-ons again a few days ago. Look how thick they look and how they're just like floating on top of my nail. They looked super weird. But I think it depends on the brand of press-on that you buy. It was the Impress by Kiss. I do not recommend them. They look pretty thick. Whereas the full cover nail tips look super natural because they're very thin on the cuticle area. And also the shape of the nail fits really nicely into my cuticle, as you'll see in the demo in a bit. Another big difference is that press-ons don't require your nail to be prepped, meaning that you just wash your hands and you just put the glue and the nail on and you're done. Whereas with the full cover tips, you do need a nail that is prepped. And also you're gonna need tools. I saw videos that say, oh, you don't need tools. No, yes, you do. You need to get a nail file. We're gonna talk about this. Another major difference is removal. With press-ons, you just have to soak your nails in warm soapy water for a little while. Whereas with these nail full cover tips, you are going to need to file down to remove the color, the polish, with the e-file. Stands for electronic file. You're gonna need to remove it with the e-file or with a nail file, but with a nail file it's just gonna take forever. It seems, yeah, too tedious, so stick to the e-file. So you're gonna remove the color first, and then you need to wrap your fingernails in acetone soaked pads, like cotton pads, so that it dissolves the gel. Okay, so you might be wondering, can I buy these press-ons and just use the UV gel as the glue so that they last longer than the regular glues that they come with? The answer is it depends. Remember that this glue requires the UV lamp to cure, that the UV light needs to reach the glue. If the nails are clear, the UV light is going to be able to penetrate, go through the clear nail and reach the gel, which will then cure. But if, let's say, the nail is a dark color, let's say a deep red or a black, well, the UV light is not going to be able to get past that pigment, that color, onto the gel. That's a big thing to keep in mind, that if you're planning to use this glue, you can only use it on either clear nails or very light colored nails, like translucent nails. So with the full cover nails, once you have glued them onto your fingers and cured them, then you can go ahead and do your nail art or paint them whatever color you want. Plus, if you want the removal to be even easier, there's something called a peel-off base, which I think, I looked this up, I found this fascinating. It was in the early 2010s that peel-off bases were developed. So this is an example of a peel-off base. This is what you put as a first product on top of your natural nail. And just as its name implies, it's meant to peel off. It's meant to remove a lot easier. Yes, you still have to dissolve it with this brand makes a dedicated remover for this, but acetone will work. Now we're gonna get to the fun part, into the application. I'm gonna show you step by step how I'm gonna put these nails on. You're gonna see, yes, we need a bunch of stuff to make it a little bit easier for you. Of course, I linked everything in the description box, but also you'll find a link to a PDF download. And in that PDF, I listed out all of the items, the materials you're gonna need. I'll also put the steps of the process of the application. So that'll make it handy for you to print it out and have it with you. Let's get into the application. Step number 1 is gonna be prepping the natural nail. And I'm gonna link you to some really great walkthroughs here on YouTube, because this video is not really intended to go into all the details of the process. It's just, I kind of want to give you like an overview so that you can see what the process is like in a nutshell, and then decide whether you want to then dive in deeper and get into it and do them yourself. For the nail prep, you're going to push back your cuticles. You're going to remove your cuticles if you want. You're going to cleanse the nail with alcohol, trim the nail if you need to. And once your nail is prepped, we move on to the next step. Oh, very important. You have to remove the shine from your nail. That's super important to ensure that the glue really sticks to the nail. Now we are going to figure out our size. We have different sizes written here. Let me show you. There, so you can see the different sizes, and I already know what my sizes are. I made this handy diagram just to remember what my sizes are. When figuring out your sizes, it's very important that the nail fits from one sidewall to the other sidewall. The nail should cover your nail bed completely. If the extension is too small, it will lift. So if you have to size up, then go one size bigger and just file down the sides with your nail file. So I picked out my sizes. Next step is to apply a dehydrator. What this does is it further removes any from the nails, oils from the nails, any moisture. It leaves the nails super clean. It ensures that the nail is completely dry. So if there happens to be any moisture that gets in, it'll be harder for fungi to grow because they don't have the ideal moist environment to grow. And now I'm going to apply the peel-off base. This is where, if you're using a peel-off base like me, that's what you will use. If you're using a regular base, meaning that it's not peel off, which essentially means that it'll be harder to remove, then that is what you will put on. You cannot put the gel glue directly onto the natural nail because it won't stick. It needs this base layer to stick to. Okay, now that the gel is on, we cure that for 60 seconds. Now comes the part where we glue on our nails. This is the trickiest part of the process, but let me tell you, Practice makes perfect. I have only done this is my 5th time, my 5th set of nails that I glue on. And the first couple, I'll tell you about this little lamp in a minute. The first 2 were a disaster, and this is a Model 1's Builder Nail Gel. All right, what you don't want are air bubbles. You'll see what I mean. That is the most difficult part. So you put some of the gel, and you're gonna learn with practice how much of the gel to put on. You don't want to put on too much because it'll seep out the moment that you press it onto your nail. You put a light layer there, and then you put like a dollop of gel here in the cuticle area. And then here's where the trickiest part comes. You need to flash cure. Remember that the glue, this gel glue is not gonna stick unless it's cured. So you need to we're gonna flash cure it with this little lamp. I'll tell you why as we go through it. The tip here, the main thing is you turn it on in advance. So I am turning the nail. Okay, and now you put it at a 45-degree angle on your nail and you press, and you don't want any air bubbles to be trapped in there because they will cause lifting. So you see how I'm holding the nail? Now, ideally, you would go in and put it into your big lamp to cure for 30 seconds, for 60 seconds, but I can't stick both of my hands in the big lamp. That's where this little lamp comes in. You need to flash cure it for 10 seconds. Did 10 seconds pass? I was not paying attention. But you see, now to turn it on, it's really difficult. I'm hoping, okay, it did cure enough to hold things. So, oh, you can't see it. Oh, I'm sorry. What I was saying is it did cure the nail enough to hold it in place. Now, what's gonna happen here is that if you turn it around, if you put a lot of gel, yeah, it's gonna start seeping out. You can go ahead and cure it as is, and then with the e-file, file off that bit, or you can take a brush, which is what I'm gonna do now. Okay, so take a cheap brush, and I am going to gently scoop out that excess gel. I'm just gonna put it here in this wipe. It's looking good. Oh wow, no air bubbles. That is a huge victory. If you've seen the B-roll that I have been putting on, there were many failed attempts to get to this place. You will likely feel some heat spikes, meaning your nail is gonna get really hot. And that's because the UV light is reaching the gel that is acting as the glue. And if I remember correctly, there are what are called photoinitiator molecules that when exposed to the UV light, they emit enzymes or something, which basically is what causes the whole curing process. It's not intolerable heat. What you can do if that happens to you, and I found out about this tip after I experienced several heat spikes, is do this. Like go in, take out your hand, in, take out your hand, just a few times, just so that it doesn't, the UV is not hitting your nail uninterruptedly. And check it out. The first nail is on. Now this is not going anywhere. Look at that. Feels super solid. If gel seeped out from the sides, actually I did have some gel seep out here. Do not worry. With the e-file, I'm going to remove it very easily. And again, if you have gel that seeped out from the sides, what you can do is you can easily file it off with the e-file after the fact, after you finish curing. But for this nail, I cured it for just like 5 seconds. And so the gel is not hardened yet. And I'm able to just with this brush kind of clean that up. Now all of my nails are done. A couple of tips. There are gloves, UV gloves that you can wear to protect your hands from the UV lights. I just forgot to put them on. And you might be thinking, why am I watching your video, Fabi? Why am I not going straight to the pros, the professional nail techs, for them to show me this process? Well, I'm gonna tell you why. I've done it only 5 times, so it's very fresh in my mind, all of the things that can go wrong. Believe me, I've watched so many step-by-step tutorial videos, and they make it look so easy. The air bubbles, you're gonna see that a lot of people remove the nail like I did earlier, and they clean off the natural nail with a wipe. What happens is that if you've cured it for, let's say, 3, 4, 5 seconds, already that gel, it's starting to harden. So don't think that you can wipe it off easily. It's gonna leave a film that doesn't come off with water, with you washing your hands. So one of the times that I did it, I had to take the e-file, like a pumice stone or a really fine grit file, and kind of file it off the skin. What I do now is I leave the air bubbles on and I go ahead and I fully cure. Why, you say? Well, because I know that they're not gonna last full 3, 4 weeks, but that's okay. While I'm learning, maybe they'll just last a week and then they'll start popping off because I left those air bubbles in there. That's fine with me. The more I practice, the better I'll get, and I'll get to the point where there won't be any air bubbles because I'll know exactly how much gel to put onto the tip, and I'll know exactly how hard to press so that gel doesn't seep out the side. If you get the dreaded air bubbles, I wouldn't bother to remove the gel and put it on again because it makes a mess. The other tip is leave your thumb till the very last. Don't start with the thumbnail as the first nail that you put down because you need your thumbs to maneuver the nails as you put them on. So leave them till last. Another thing, you saw me that I flash cured and then I put my hand in the big lamp. I don't know why I was doing it. You just need to flash cure for 10 seconds. Do that for all of your fingers, and then at the end, when all your fingers have the nails on, go ahead and fully cure. Now I'm going to put different nails on the other hand. So far, we have been working with these clear ones from the brand Après in the shape almond. And also recently, by the way, this is not sponsored in any way. I bought all of this with my own money. So these are from Après and they come in different neutral colors. These colors are light enough that the UV light will be able to get through and cure the gel. So let me show you. You see that you can see the barcode through the nail? So they're translucent towards the cuticle area and then more opaque towards the free edge. Also, notice that this is the coffin shape. So this is short. This one is also coffin. This is extra short. So you see the short next to the extra short. I'm gonna be putting on the short ones. And then we have another almond. They also have square and they have oval. So I got them in different colors. Now, why do they come in different colors? They said that it's for a few reasons. One, if you're planning to use a nail polish that is close to the color of the nail, in this case, like a beige, since this already comes pre-painted, you don't have to add that layer of color. With each layer, you're going to increase the thickness of your nail. And if you look at our natural nails are pretty thin. So in order to keep your fake nails looking as natural as possible, you also want to keep them as thin as possible towards the free edge. They do have to be thicker here, as they say, towards the apex, because that is where the strength of the nail comes from. So again, I'm going to apply the dehydrator to every nail. The next step, which I forgot to do last time, is you have to etch the underside of the nail. And there are several ways that you can do that. By etching, I mean the surface of the nail is very smooth and you need to create a rough surface for everything to adhere as best as possible. So we can etch the underside of the nail 3 different ways. First is with a nail file, which I don't recommend because it doesn't fit into the nail nicely. And also this part is so thin, the cuticle area, that the less etching you do with a nail file, the better. The other way is using an e-file. That's where the drill comes into play. Look at my cute little case here. I got it from Amazon. Nail drills, they come with some bits already. So what I do, you just remove the test bit that it came with, and you can use several types of bits. You can use this particular file, or you can use a ceramic bit, but that's getting into the weeds of things. Really, to keep it simple, you just turn this on and just etch it like that, very briefly. I'm not turning it on because I don't want dust to start getting everywhere. And there's a solution to that, which also I discovered for the first time. I had no idea these things existed. A dust collector. This is like a vacuum. It sucks the dust onto it, and I'll show it to you in action. You don't have to have one of these things. I think out of all the materials, this is probably the most expensive thing, like $99 I think it was. But I really wanted it because if I'm going to be doing my nails here in my office, I have cameras around, my computers. I don't want the dust getting on that equipment. And the third way is to use a solution that etches it for you. So this one is again from the brand Après. I have not seen other products like this type of product from other brands. And what you do is that you kind of scrub it in there and it starts, I guess it's like an acid, and it starts eating up at the plastic, therefore creating a rough surface. I don't know if you'll be able to see how the surface is getting, it's getting rough. So yeah, scrub it in there. So you do that to every single nail. And again, you proceed with the base gel and then you glue the nails on. I'm gonna do that off camera and I'll be right back. I just finished putting on these nails. I had never tried their coffin shape before, nor these length. And look at that, aren't they beautiful? I didn't put on anything, no top coat, nothing. I'm not gonna keep them on because I can't type with them. I can't do anything with them. So I'm probably either gonna take them off or just file them down a lot. But wow, I love these. A note about the brand. You saw me using a lot of Après nails. There are other brands, but the consensus from the videos that I watched, everybody said that the best quality was from Après. Also, they have the most expensive tips, but still, I mean, nail stuff, it's not expensive. I mean, a box of nails, this cost me, I think, $11. For this last year, I think like 11 sets of nails. What I really wanted was to see what high quality looked like and felt like. And now I want to experiment with other less expensive brands. Now, here are some things that I wish I had known before, and I'm just gonna keep showing you the nails. That when you look on Amazon for products, you can look for Après, Beetles, Model Ones, Kiara Sky, and Melody Susie when it comes to the equipment, like the UV lights, the e-files, this guy, the dust collector. Macart is also a brand to look into. And it's good to know who all the biggest players are right now, because I wish I would have looked on Amazon for like Beetles kit. I was not aware until after I finished purchasing all my stuff that Beetles sells a kit on Amazon for about $25 that brings a flash cure lamp, base coat, top coat, drill bits. They don't bring in the e-file, but it comes with a regular file. It comes with a regular buffer, nail gel polish colors, and I don't know what else. I'll pop it up on the screen. Very inexpensive that you can get kits. Even you can get sets of nail polishes. For example, a set of 6 different nail polishes came in this set. This is from Beetles. I got it from Amazon, $10. It has a bunch of different red shades. They have neutral sets. They have, I don't know, pastel tones or neon, whatever. And then also what I bought, which it really comes in handy, is this thing right here on Amazon. Of course, a bunch of swatch sticks. So I started swatching all of the colors that I've been purchasing. It's my preferred way is to buy them in a set rather than the full bottle, because I wanted to try different colors and ideally from different brands. But then Après, Valentine's Day passed not a long time ago, and they came out with a limited edition, really cute set that it's supposed to look like a chocolate bar. Inside, it comes with 16 different colors. These numbered stickers, I put them on. They correspond to my swatch sticks here. But how cool. This is what I was looking for. I wanted like a sampler of various colors, even if the quantity was small. It didn't matter. What I wanted was a variety of colors, because it's a lot more cost effective than going out and purchasing full-size bottles of the gel polish. And another tip that I think is worth mentioning, that supposedly you're better off buying all of your products, meaning your top coat, base gel, whatever, from the same brand because they're meant to work with each other. Whereas if you combine, you mix and match different brands, they might not be compatible. The products might not be compatible with each other. I have mixed and matched different brands. I have for the UV gel, I have Model 1s. I have a Prey for the bonder. The base coat is the Jello brand. Then I have a top coat from Coupa. So I didn't hear this tip about sticking with one brand until after I purchased my stuff, but it's something to keep in mind. Now we're gonna jump on to the next step, which is blending that cuticle area so that we have a very seamless, as natural as possible of a nail. And also we're gonna file off the sides, the gel that seeped out. Anyway, the dust collector. I saw someone do this trick. So just toilet paper, 2 ply, separate it, and put it here over the top before you turn it on. That way all the dust remains here on top of the toilet paper, and then it's very easy to just ball this up and throw it away, rather than having to change the filters inside this thing. This way I don't even have to worry about buying filters. So this works really well. A word about e-files. A few important points that if you're looking for your first e-file, it's just good to know. You're gonna see that most of the e-files are portable, as opposed to this one, which is corded. It has a cord to attach to, plug into the wall. The reason why I did not buy a portable one, because 95% of the e-files you see for sale are gonna be portable, rechargeable ones. I did not want to go there because I already have enough things that I have to remember to charge. A bunch of things that my charging area is always, I don't have enough cords to keep everything charged. And I didn't want to add one more thing to remember to charge. And also the health of the chargeable batteries just diminishes over time. There comes a point that they can't hold a full charge anymore. And it's not like you can replace the batteries. They come built in, so you can't replace them. So I said, no, forget it. Let me just get a cord e-file. This one is actually the second one that I purchased. I ended up returning the first one because the first one, you're gonna see that the file, it can rotate forwards and you can put it in reverse, depending on which hand you use and the direction. Well, the first one that I bought, let's say that it looked like this, right? Well, the indicator that tells you whether it's set on forward or in reverse was in the back of the unit. So just from looking at it at a glance, I couldn't tell whether it was spinning at a forward or reverse direction. That was really a pain in the butt, because then I would have to turn off, stop using this, and kind of feel with my fingers, because it was a switch, to kind of see whether it was, which way it was pressed to determine whether it was on forward or reverse. I ended up returning it. Make sure that, like this unit, there's a light here that at a glance it's very easy to see whether it's on what direction it's spinning on. Also, what I really liked about this one is that it came with a foot pedal, which you connect. I don't have it around me right now. And so you can start and stop the drill with your foot, which is super handy. The portable, rechargeable ones do not have a pedal. I could not find one with a pedal. Also, the speed that you're gonna want is, people say 30,000 RPM. Honestly, I don't take it past 15,000. I'm fine with 15,000, but that was a general recommendation, to go with a speed of 30,000 at least. All right, we're gonna get started. I'm gonna turn this suction thing on and we're gonna work on blending the cuticle area part. This ceramic bit is the one that I like to use for this part. It seems to be gentle yet effective. So I'm just going over the nail right now, over the extension. It already looks like it's part of my nail. Here I want to show you what it looks like to remove the gel that seeped out here on the side. I have a little bit more left right here. I wonder if I reverse the rotation, if it'll help. There we go, it's coming off. There, you saw it pop off. All right, I'm done e-filing, and let me show you. You see, I think it looks pretty flush there, the extension with my nail. So at this point, you would take a manicure brush with some alcohol and kind of scrub the nails, but I don't have a brush, so I'm just not gonna do that. No, but I will at least take a wipe with some alcohol and get rid of all the dust before I go on with polish. Okay, I'm gonna start applying the top coat. I decided not to put any color nail polish over these nails. I think they look amazing as they are. Now notice that I did not rough up the surface of the nail. That's because it doesn't need it. And it doesn't need it because it's made out of gel. Gel sticks to gel. Top coat is fully cured. What do you think? I think these nails look incredible. Now for this other hand, I feel like going dark. So we're gonna do this deep, it's like a chocolate brown. And I don't know if I grabbed too much. I'm not very familiar with this consistency. The only time that I've worked with it is when I painted the swatch sticks. Also the brush, the bristles feel stiff. I don't know if I should have dipped it in alcohol or water to kind of loosen the bristles a little bit. I don't know. I'll have to do 2 coats. A technique that I saw a lot of people do is that they'll put the product at about this height, like a third in, and then they get behind the bead, quote unquote, and push the product towards the cuticle. I think they called it the bulldozing technique. So get behind the bead and push, something like that. All right, not bad. And then you pull. I find this process very therapeutic. That's another thing that I like about this. It's just some me time. Nails are done. How beautiful are they? On this side we have Short Coffin in the shade Alex. These are the clear ones in extra short almond shape. Wow. I am so in love with these nails. Now I can do salon-quality nails in my own home. Remember that I put together that PDF that I mentioned? I truly think that it's gonna be helpful to you guys because there are several items that are needed, several materials. So you're gonna have a list of all of the products and also just a quick outline of all of the steps. And with that, I was going to do the removal process, but if I do that, I'm just gonna do it in a separate video because I think this video is getting quite long and too detailed. Yeah, because I intended to do more of a like an overview. And look at, oh man, every time I look at my monitor, I'm like, wow, check it out. So what do you guys think? Did you know about this method? Are you thinking about giving it a go? Don't forget to give me a thumbs up if you liked this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!